With respect to bulk regulations, well, the most important bulk regulation for purposes of this afternoon's discussion are the related concepts of floor area and floor area ratio. Floor area is defined as the sum of the gross areas of the floors of a building, measured from the exterior faces of exterior walls. Floor area includes elevator shafts and stairwells, but excludes cellar space, i.e. space that's more than 50% below grade. It also excludes elevator and stair bulkheads and floor space used for mechanical equipment. Hence, there is a difference between the gross area of a building, which is used for many purposes, and zoning floor area. This is a very important distinction in air rights transactions. Since the zoning resolution regulates floor area, that is the commodity that is being bought and sold. Gross area is largely irrelevant, except when used as a rough estimate of floor area. Rentable square footage is another concept which we will not be discussing this afternoon. So the maximum size or bulk of a building is determined by the floor area ratio, or FAR, assigned in the zoning resolution to the zoning district in which it is located. The FAR expresses the relationship between the amount of usable floor area in a building and the area of the lot on which the building stands. Very simply, you multiply the lot area by the FAR, and that gives you the permitted amount of floor area. The floor area ratio may differ for the particular type of use. In New York, residential FARs range from 0.5 to 10.0, or possibly up to 12 with a bonus for residential use. Commercial use can be up to 15 in central business districts, and manufacturing FARs can be as high as 10. Floor area and floor area ratio are actually national and even international concepts. They are used in Boston, Chicago, Los Angeles, San Francisco, and even as far away as Australia, India, and Japan. So I'm often asked, if the maximum FAR is 10 or 15, how does a building get as high as it does? Well, first, not everything counts as floor area. A building does not go, as discussed previously, there are many deductions from permitted floor area, most significantly for mechanical space. Second, a building does not go straight up from the street, but it sets back from various property lines in accordance with other bulk regulations. Third, various bonuses are available for providing amenities such as plazas and for inclusionary housing. Fourth, and most significantly for purposes of this afternoon's discussion, the height of a building and the bulk of a building can be increased by a floor area transfer from an adjacent site. There are a series of other bulk regulations that are incorporated into the zoning resolution. Height and setback regulations require that above a certain height, the building set back from the street line and then rise subject to a sky exposure plane. In certain districts, towers are permitted, which are not subject to the sky exposure plane. And we also in New York have what are referred to as contextual districts. Those generally end in a letter suffix, for example, R10A. In those districts, there are strict height limits and envelope limitations such that floor area transfers are of limited use in those districts. We can skip through the discussion of yards and lot coverage. They are not particularly significant for today's discussion. Other land use laws. Landmarks laws generally involve the designation as a historic property or of a historic district. In these situations, the property itself is burdened, but the regulations actually create opportunities for air rights transactions, as we'll discuss a little bit later on. There are also building and construction codes, which govern the means and methods of construction, and there are housing maintenance and habitability laws, which prescribe habitability standards for residential occupancy. There are also light and air requirements, which are governed by various laws. The zoning resolution requires that legal windows be provided for residential occupancy. Those legal windows must be 30 feet away from a wall or lot line. Building codes and multiple dwelling laws require that windows open upon a legal yard, court, or space above a setback. In all cases, these requirements are defined with reference to the particular zoning lot that the building is located on. So there is a major secondary benefit of a floor area transfer by zoning lot merger. It allows an adjacent lot, which is often space above an existing building, to be used for legal light and air, which results in potentially more bedrooms and better layouts in the development project that you're working on.